Hi, today for anyone who is interested, I just wanted to share more about myself. So I like to have fun like anybody else. Like any normal kid when I was younger, I like to have fun. I was born in La Jolla, California. My dad was in the Navy and my mom worked in human resources. And we moved to Virginia from California and then back to California and then finally in Washington is where we stayed. The transition was not so simple. I have moved and made friends from wherever I've gone, and I learned quickly to do so after moving a couple times. And one of my favorite games when I was younger was wall ball when I was a kid. I like riding bikes with my cousins. I like going around and having fun in the community as well. And my elementary and middle school years were pretty normal. In middle school, I started playing cello because we had to choose an instrument to play for a required class, and middle school was in Washington. I made two good friends during this moment that are substantial. I made more than that, but Nathan Gui and David Kim. I'm closest to David Kim today out of the two, and my family and I started off just not wealthy, but comfortable in a middle class way. One of my favorite places to eat with friends was Burger Master in Washington. I played tennis and basketball in middle school and elementary school, and my parents and I have a good relationship, and we grew closer through life's struggles. And this is just a quick kind of intro. And my only brother is 8 years older than me, and we get along well, but fight sometimes in the past. And so, so I'll just kind of recap. I played basketball all the way up to high school pretty much. But I did play some basketball even after high school. I practiced a little bit on my own and then played some pickup games. So I played some pickup games of basketball, and then I also started off playing tennis when I was younger. I really like tennis. Tennis is probably like one of my top sports out of all the sports, and I definitely don't know like every single sport that's out there because they even create new sports. But basketball is my top sport, and then tennis is what I played when I was younger. I went to a tennis club and got tennis lessons when I was younger in Washington. So anyone who watches this and wonders like how I play tennis so well or something, sometimes, not all the time, but I did take tennis lessons when I was younger, and I really liked it. I really like tennis, but let's see, basketball. I talked about basketball. So in high school, I think I say this consistently. I do study. I like studying. I like school, but I think I'm more on the social side. Today, as I'm 28 years old making this video, I do a lot more studying than what I did in high school, but I would say I did an average amount on my grades. I didn't go above and beyond. Today I would consider myself somewhat of a nerd, but in not such a traditional way. I would say in just Bible knowledge or different things like that, but definitely does not make me just this super Bible good person. But that's pretty much how high school went. I went to WSU in Vancouver for a little bit, and WSU Vancouver is not the Vancouver, Canada, but it's in Vancouver in the south of Washington, the southernmost part of Washington State. And I liked WSU Vancouver a lot. I had so much fun. I made a lot of friends. One friend that I have even still today is Sam Alaham, and he's just been a close friend even after WSU. And so after WSU, I went to California for a little bit. So I was in electrical engineering at WSU, and it was just too overwhelming for me. I don't think I chose the right major. I've never been very strong suited in math, but sometimes I do like to push my limit in seeing what I can accomplish. And I still do that today, but today I take more comfortable chunks, so to speak, when eating in a metaphorical think today I've accepted that, there's literally things that I just cannot do. But sometimes when I was younger, you have this mentality of just, thinking of things that, are literally just impossible, or you may not want to do, you may not have the energy when you actually get up to it. And so I've accepted a lot of those things, and not accepted as in a negative way, but just, taking that reality into play. So let's see, what else? So I talked about sports. I've had a few different relationships that are romantic, but not too many. Let's see, I've had some pretty good trips. So I've been to Spain, I've been to Italy, and then that was with my mom and dad. We went on a cruise, and the cruise was so much fun. I would say the cruise that I went on when I was probably before my high school years, so whatever age that is before high school, I don't really feel like thinking about it, but like 13, 14 was some of my favorite moments traveling. So I've been a lot of places around the world already, and it was so much fun. I would be totally down to go around the world again, but lately, I've been thinking about that Bible verse that says, "A fool's eyes wander to the ends of the earth." And so sometimes I don't always necessarily plan on traveling too much, but I've been to Spain, I've been to Italy, I've already mentioned I've been to Jamaica. I bought a real Jamaica, like one of those Rastafarian kind of colors, the red, yellow, and black hats, and it had fake dreads on it, and I literally bought that in Jamaica. And I remember bringing that back home, and they sell those type of things here in America, like if you go to the right store, like maybe at like Hot Topic or something. And so I remember buying that in Jamaica, and I brought it back, and I told some of my friends about it, and they didn't believe that I actually went there, because I was like, "Hey, here's my proof, I got this." And they were like, "Yeah, we see that type of thing like in just regular stores here in the USA." So I thought that was kind of funny. But I've been to Jamaica. Let's see, where else? I've just been to the Caribbean, different islands. Like I've been to Cozumel, Mexico. I've been to, let's see. So that segment was with my mom and dad and my brother. And so with my school friends, with my high school friends, I've been to a whole bunch of other places in Europe. So I've been to places all around, let's see, the first place I'm thinking of is, I want to say Rome. So I've been to Rome there. When I went to Italy the first time, it wasn't to Rome. I went to a different place by a military type of base, and it was still fun. I got to go shopping. I think I bought a watch there with my dad. But this time that I'm talking about, I went to actually get to see the Colosseum in Rome and see the old school kind of the way that they say a lot of our civilization today kind of grew from. And so Rome was really fun. I've been to 19 different countries on that trip with my school classmates and friends. And so I think that experience really just brought me closer to a lot of my friends in high school. I still talk to them today. We reach out through Instagram, through Facebook, and I definitely recommend just doing that yourself when you are, if you're watching this and you're just out of high school or college. Even sometimes it's hard to stay in contact with people, but people do appreciate if you just say hi, even if they're not the one to say hi to you randomly. Like, people do appreciate that. I know I do when I have friends that, hit me up, like, and just say hi. So another thing that I like to do is snowboard. So I like snowboarding a lot, but it's not necessarily the easiest thing to get to. Even in Washington here, it's about 2 hours away from where I live. And with work, I have a family now. It's not always so easy to just get to snowboarding. I like water sports, so I like kayaking. I'm a big paddle boarder. I've only done paddleboarding a few times, but just the excitement of it, I like paddleboarding, but I do kayak a lot. So the last time I've been kayaking with my brother was in La Jolla, California, and I would say that was like 3 years ago, so not too far, too long ago. But the kayaking that we did in La Jolla was just amazing. The water in California is really nice. The sand is really nice. Let's see, so what else? So I like to travel. I like driving. So lately so those were trips with my family. It started off with my family, and then like not my personal family that I have now, but my mom and dad and my brother. And then I went on trips with my high school friends. And then I've gone on trips by myself. So by myself, in kind of the adventurous way, I've been to Hawaii. I've been to just Portland by myself. I've been to the East Coast by myself and stayed with family. Virginia, I went back to Virginia a few different times. And I've just road trip. So I've taken our Hyundai Tucson that we had, and I've driven that all across America and back. And that was really fun. I would say the most challenging part of that was when you're by yourself and you don't plan everything correctly. You end up either sleeping in your car, or you end up, not having the best accommodation. And so that's what I've learned is, I think that's a learning experience, because you realize how much you have to plan. Planning is okay, and how much that you can't just, if you have others with you. I know by myself, like I can just get in a sleeping bag and I'll be good for the night. But, I think that type of trip teaches me that, it's good to have money saved up. It's good to have a plan before you go on that type of trip. And it's good to just, plan ahead, I guess. So my future, I would love to go to Israel. I haven't been to Israel. I think that would be amazing. There's a few other places that I haven't gone to, but even in America, I really like Seattle. I want to explore Seattle a lot more. Obviously, I'm doing videos more. If you're watching this channel, I don't normally do a lot of videos. Let's see, what else? So, like, there's a pool table right here. A lot of my friends and we played pool. I have this electric bike right here that the tire blew out. Like, I've literally only had it like probably a month or two, and the back tire, that's how much I rode it, was like the back tire kind of blew out. So yeah, let's see. So I think describing me, I sort of am an introvert, I would say. I can definitely relate to that word, and just being more to myself. I'm a quiet type of person, but I definitely, obviously, am making this video. I like to share, I like to talk. I just, I think in the past like 5 years, I've just been going through just life changes, dealing with things that I have never dealt with, and it's a learning experience. There's different challenges that you come across. That up until 28, I wrote a book. I wrote a book about things that you learn before 27, and there's a lot of things that you can go through that it really challenges your character, or it pushes you to the limit, and you really either have to learn from it, or you kind of I guess get sheltered in and draw back from kind of that lifestyle that you are normally used to. And I think a little bit of both of those scenarios happened to me. Is I went through so much that sometimes it's hard to deal with a lot of things, and so that's something about me is I'd like to reach out to people to get help really fast. Sometimes it's good to I learned from when I've been on road trips or just dealing with things on my own, that lately in the past like 3 years, I just reach out to people really fast about different problems that I'm going through, because in reality, like, I'm not here by myself. I didn't just make myself to come to existence. And so we rely on a whole bunch of other people in our everyday. I didn't make this shirt, I didn't make food that I have. There's a whole bunch of different things that come from other people's work. And so that's just something that I've learned recently is just get help and then also share. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube that they make these vlogs or video journals, and they're just sharing what is inside instead of thinking about it or instead of writing it down, actually getting some feedback from it by sharing your thoughts with your words to others. I think definitely has helped me in this most recent time. Let's see, what else? So outside of that learning experience, lately, I would say in the past year, so I like traveling with my wife. So my wife and I, we pretty much travel around like Seattle area. I like going to Lake Union. I like working, definitely like working. I like my job that I have. It's almost like right now I have a more of a serious type job, and then I also have a more of a fun type job as well, where both you can make money. One is a little bit more serious, and it's not as necessarily the same type of fun. And then the other job is it's kind of fun. It's like Guys Grocery Games on Food Network, which I was just watching yesterday, and I noticed the connection, and I was like, wow, that's actually really cool. My job is pretty much just like that. So yeah, let's see. Lately I've been getting into just saving. And then obviously this is the big part about me is I like business things. I like entrepreneurship type things. I have not necessarily gotten to my goal for business or having like my own brick and mortar retail space. That's my goal. I'm 28 and I'm hopefully going to reach that goal soon. But I've been about business since I was young. It's a cliche that a lot of young people go through, and I like that cliche. It's fun working for something and either getting praise for your work or getting money for your work, which is a form of praise because people are willing to give you something of theirs because they like what you have to offer. So that's one of the things that I like about business, and so I do have my own business. Obviously this is YouTube, so it is a form of a business, but it's a little bit more fun. Some people take it seriously, other people they don't. I'm on the side of taking it seriously, but not as a full, like, this is how I'm gonna make all my living. Let's see. I would say about my personality, I've already talked about that. I like clothing, so I like to look as best as I can. I just recently came across, if you're a guy, it's called manily.com, and they have some pretty cool clothing on there for guys. And then I might end up trying this. You probably either heard about it already, but it's called Stitch Fix or Thread Up, and I might try those. One thing that my wife and I did when we were dating before we got married was this cool service that we found on Facebook. Was you pretty much sign up and you pay a monthly fee, and you get these little candies from all around the world. And it was really cool because we got to try these different assortment of candies from China or Mexico or I think the Philippines, and it was just really cool. So we ended the subscription, but we're gonna probably sign up for it again. And so lately I've been transitioning from my kind of lifestyle into a more dad lifestyle. We just had our daughter Nova this month, and today is September 29th. So yeah, I'm transitioning more and trying to learn as much as I can about how to be the best dad, how to be the best husband, how to be the best that I can be. Not comparing myself to others so much. I think I do that sometimes, but as much as I can, trying to work on myself and be satisfied with how I'm presenting myself to the Lord, to Jesus, to the church, and so that's not always easy. You know, Solomon says it's better to have a good name rather than great riches. So I've been trying to do that. I think right now I'm on the side of the bad name, and not necessarily by others. I think a lot of people have good things to say about me, but I think on myself, how I perceive, and some people have bad things, but I think how I perceive things is, having people, I feel like sometimes they just have this bad idea about me, and I feel like I have things that are hard to explain in my life, in my past, that, could have someone thinking poorly about me. And so, I just wanted to I'm reading Michelle Obama's book, and then I'm hopefully going to get President Obama's book, and they're the representatives of African Americans in America, and so I just thought I'd do a little biography type of video, but also it's good to learn from the leaders that are here. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Thank you.